but we are catching up with our adventures from California. We have come to the Disney portion of things, and I thought it's a perfect opportunity to continue my refills that I saved for this occasion. And last night I actually also streamed, but I didn't publish the vlog because it was a very quiet stream. I was literally catching up because I'm doing this weird thing where I'm cutting the photos, but then like updating them kind of chronologically in my Hobonichi, and my Traveler's notebook in real time. So it's gonna be a little back and forth. And yesterday I finally had time to kind of like fill in the writing part. So today's gonna be a little bit of a mix again, but this time with probably a little bit more ephemera because Disney, I collected some ephemera. Hello, Fantasy Animal Vegan. You got your Traveler's notebook yesterday, and I'm setting up my notebooks. Nice. Hope you enjoyed that. All right, now I'm gonna work on this in batches, and I have way too many stuff from Disney. Let's make sure. Oh my god! All right, I don't have that many photos left. That's good. All right, so these are reserved for later. Let me just trim these for now, and then we can start the pasting. So I wanted to buy a guillotine cutter like my friend Jasmine, who uses it on her stream, but like I shared yesterday, I bought one size too big. This one's like a 9-inch, but hers is like probably like just this long. So this is not a good thing for my desk. So I'm returning it, and I'm buying another stuff instead. So I've been using this paper slicer from Daiso for the longest time, 2 to 3 years maybe, and the blade is absolutely dull, and it just makes really jagged like kind of edges. And this is obviously $1.50 or $1.75 with tax. And so I decided to just went ahead and buy the professional version of this, so that I can do the cutting I want and still not take up too much space. So that's the plan. So meanwhile, I wait for that to be delivered tomorrow. I will have to continue this manual method. And so today's going to be a little bit of an odd timing because this is kind of streaming through dinner time for Cookie. So I may have to take a little cookie break at 6-ish. If you guys can help remind me to go feed Cookie, take him out and stuff. And then I can come back and stream. I'm not that hungry. I kind of had like a really weird eating schedule today. So I'm ready to eat much later. Kind of really want tacos, but I'm probably going to eat at home. Have some naan with some paneer curry. I think that's what I am gonna do. And then carb crash afterwards. Hello! Thank you, Planning with Stella, with the raid! I gotta tell you something. I was so stupid. I thought I hit start streaming at 5. And then I was just talking and journaling, like, and I'm like, why isn't anyone in chat? Why is my Nightbot not working? And then all this time I did not hit the start stream button. And so finally at 5:07 I realized what's wrong, and I like replayed restarted everything. Oh my goodness. But thank you for rating. Enjoyed your talk about the Triangle Pen show. Looks super fun. And I feel like with a show like that that's a little bit more small and intimate, you really get the time to interact with the vendors and really make the best of the experience, you know, instead of feeling too overwhelmed or like feeling the need to fight other customers. So I'm glad you had a good time and you bought some great stuff. I'm really happy for you. I'm excited for the DC Pen Show, which is the next one I'm going to. But hello, Planning with John. How you doing? How are you doing? Hey Tasha, and hello. Red Heart Parts. Yes, yes. So I bought the Fiskar brand. Wait, actually, did I? I think I was comparing between Fiskar and another brand, and the other brand also can replace blades. So I think I went for that other one. That's a little cheaper. But yeah, I was like, the Daiso one is a one-use thing. They won't let you replace the blade, so it wasn't. I mean, it's so cheap. So, which reminds me, I really needed to visit that Daiso up in U District, but I think, or Roosevelt, but I think it's closed already. Ida, thank you for rating too. And Yanagikuri, yay! Also, okay, funny thing. So you know, I follow you guys' advice and I send out the Google, the Google group announcement about the Travelers Company and Art Toolkit meetup information. And so one of the members replied back to me. It was like, "Oh, I'm so glad I saw your product at Ben Franklin, and I was really happy you guys came out with the square journal version. I hope you'll bring it to the event." And I'm like, first of all, I think you mistaken me for another company. We don't have a square watercolor journal. And also I don't think we're in Ben Franklin. So I think maybe what had happened was she thought I was referring to Traverse Notebook as like the broad term of Traverse Notebook. Maybe there's like another brand that sells Traverse Notebook or calls it Traverse Notebook, although we're the official one. So I was like, I don't know how to reply to this gently. So I'm just gonna ignore it. And when she comes up to me, I'll explain it better at the July 1st meetup. And plus, we're not even selling anything there. I thought maybe I didn't make it clear. It was a not-for-profit thing. So yeah, Tasha Scribbles. I had a stream rehearsal. Hello, Scientist Plants. Welcome to the stream. Yes, I love the Federal Way Daiso. And in fact, this morning I was just down in Federal Way for Cookies Grooming, and so it was kind of like I didn't have the chance to go shop there though, because by the time I finished my grocery shopping at Grocery Outlet, the groomer was like, "Cookies ready," and I was like, "Okay." So I just went home after that. Next trip though. So I made this little holder for my TN to look like it has a hat. But I think I will just paste this directly into the TN. Exactly, Pen in Japan. I think that was what happened, because I was trying to figure out what she's trying to say. Like at first I thought she mistook me for Art Toolkit, because Art Toolkit does have like a watercolor journal. I think they sell the Hannah Mules ones. So I was like, is that what she meant? And I was about to reply to her, but then I reread her email and I was like, wait, no, I think she was referring. Like, I don't think Art Toolkits is in Ben Franklin as well, so. Yeah. That one is the one that our friend Sarah is close by. Super jealous. So it's really nice. But yeah, in the US, the Traverse Notebook system is definitely becoming kind of like a general term, and I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, but like, you know, it is what it is. Travelers wasn't prominent enough as a brand internationally, like to secure their brand presence in the US, and thus I think it's habitual. A lot of people adopted and make their own here, so yeah. Our Toolkit sells the accordion one. That's the one I was thinking, right? And so I was like, maybe that's what she meant. But also, I don't think they sell it at Ben Franklin. Sure. So I'm trying to look for my big clip. Yanagi Curry. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, Traverse Company really pioneered the term Traverse Notebook. And in fact, in Japan, it is in the process or has already been trademarked within Japan. Obviously, it's a little hard to trademark abroad, especially since they've never really did any like international presence before the last 5 years. So So that's just how it is, you know. Yeah. I think probably because it's already too hard or too late to trademark it here. Okay, so I really wanted to paint the jacarandas over here. So I'm gonna do a brief sketch. And so that's why right now, like, if you, I don't want to get into work stuff. It's like, why am I talking about work? But if you'll notice, I always write Traveler's Notebook in the correct capitalization way. Traveler's Notebook, Traveler's Company, to maintain that distinction, even though I feel like people still don't quite notice that. But it's kind of a effort, I feel like. You know. TRC is short for Traveler's Company. That's it. Okay, jacarandas are very... Yeah, in Japan, they like to use TNR, TMP, Traveler's Notebook regular, and Traveler's Notebook Passport, I think. In Japan, at least. And unlike hashtags, that's what a lot of people refer to. And then also, obviously, we hear TNs a lot. I feel like it's not necessarily anyone's fault. It's just timing, you know. It took off very quickly, and within TRC themselves, they had like a reorg within design field, because obviously it used to be a product by Midori, but then Midori is consolidated into an individual brand underneath design field. TRC stood out on its own as well, and so that timing happened around 2015, I think. And so that's kind of when it's like, oh, we gotta take this more seriously, because it's now a brand name instead of like a product name. But you guys will, I think Traveler's Notebook is the first Traveler's Notebook. That sounds weird. Hunting with style. I use a regular printer. This is what it looks like on a US letter. So an inkjet printer. And all I did is, you can kind of see it's 1, 2, 3, 4 collaged 4x3 photos. And I use PhotoGrid, which is an app on my phone, to collage them into 4x3. So I kind of have like a rhythm now. Like I like 5 to 6 photos per collage. And so what had happened here is I collaged 32 things. Like there's 32 collage items. I send it to my computer, and then on my computer I like drag them into Microsoft Word, and then I adjust it so that 4 fits perfectly into Microsoft Word per page, and then I just print those pages out. It sounds tedious, but I feel like it's kind of those things where like you do it often enough, it's no longer tedious. So for me, it was very quick each time. It's confusing because there's a difference between regular and standard labels. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it has to do with, again, this is a Japanese company. It started with a Japanese company. So right off the bat, they weren't that particular about the English side of things. So they never made any standardizations on how to refer to this sizing. So that's where we come in as Travelers Company USA, which is to really try to consolidate a lot of these and kind of, and obviously we're not trying to shove it down people's throats like this is the only way you can call Travelers Notebook, but kind of like a slow integration, you know. So I try. I try my best. And I also feel like it's at that point where it's already a little too late, so I correct people if they're curious, but I'm not going to tell people what to say. You know, because it could be habit, and like it's a hard topic to tackle, and that's not really like the ultimate goal of the company right now. So I keep telling Yuri it's a free economy. People will do whatever they want. So all you can really work on is, you know, spending time and dedicating more efforts to your own community and ensure they have a good time. And that's how I think about it. Washi tape. Oh my God, John. The shade. Oh my God. Like I know the amount of washi tape in the US that is not made of actual washi. Like, and it's funny because in Japan they actually call themselves masking tape. Like it's funny because they don't claim the washi thing, unlike a few places that really did it in like the washi paper regions. So it's just it's so funny you brought that. It is kind of like a, you know, a language thing. So, I feel like I did this good enough. And it's funny because it's like constantly just a single jacarandas in Long Beach. I wasn't able to find like a batch of them until I went to San Diego. Lurk for doggo. Thank you. Have a good lurk. I need to. Oh, by the way, did I ever mention how much I love painting on the Midori paper? It's just, it takes watercolor so well. I love it. Are you journaling SD now? Almost. Almost. Hey, Broken Halo, by the way. No Japanese company calls it washi tape, so it was super confused when I started getting into the international community. And then the annoying part is people make tape that are not made of washi, and they're still plastic paper tapes, and they like to call it washi tape because it's like that's the trendy thing to say. I'm like, do you even know what that means? Planning with Stop Purple Wisteria. So these are jacarandas. Because down in Long Beach, I think, and San Diego later, they're very close to the Mexico. Actually, I don't know if this is a Mexican thing, but because I watched Encanto, and then in one of the songs, the oldest sister sang about like jacarandas, and that was the first time I was like, oh, jacarandas are these beautiful purple trees. Like they bloom kind of like sakura, but instead of pink, it's purple, and then like, whatchamacallit, and then my friend, her coil went to an urban sketching kind of retreat in Mexico City during the month of I think May, and then it was just blooming all over the streets, and then I kind of just associated as a Mexico thing. So maybe, so definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but because I'm in Long Beach and San Diego, it's so close to Tijuana, I was just kind of like, oh, maybe that's why they have these flowers down there, because the climate is similar. Yeah. Midori paper is the jam. Exactly. The oldest sister song. Yeah. I feel like the middle sister for sure. Because I'm obviously a middle kid, but I really can sometimes kind of be like, oh man, that older sister is suffering a lot too to have to be perfect. Still hashtag everything Maste. Oh my god, I love Maste's tape. They're so good. But yeah. You know, as Japanese stationery grows to become more influential, there eventually will have to be naming things. I mean, it's just kind of like in the Korean culture, they start officially calling things kimchi. Like, to spell kimchi correctly, referring to that thing kimchi. Because in China and like Taiwan, we call them pao cai, which is pickled, like translated directly, it's like pickled veggies. And they're like, no, you have to call this kimchi. Like this, you can't call it that other thing that's similar to what you have in your country. So, language, globalization, it's just how it is. All right, I will be drawing a lot more of these as I move into the rest of the things. But now the next step is going through my Disney photos and then determining which ones are going into my Hobonichi, because I only have one page of my Hobonichi for these. I'm way more talkative than last night's stream. Oh my god. I think it's because it's still like during the early in the day. Today's the solstice, by the way. Happy solstice. The longest day of the year. My favorite. I love sunny days. But today's kind of dreary, so I don't know if we're going to get some sun. Even breakthrough for sunset. But here in my neighborhood, or close to my neighborhood, is this place called Fremont, and they host the Summer Solstice Festival. And it's also infamous for a thing they do every year, which is nude bicyclist, but with body paint. So it's really hard to see the bits, but but like they love cycling through the neighborhoods in on bicycles, kind of like as part of the parade. It's just a thing they've been doing for 30 years. This morning though, I was out driving and doing some chores, picking up donuts in that neighborhood, which was a huge mistake. It took me a whole hour to come back. But there was this couple that was just riding nude on Lime bikes. So many. One, you missed the memo. The parade's not until the afternoon. Two, your actual nudes, and you don't have body paint on, so we can actually see everything. And three, you're riding nude on a public Lime bike? What? Like, I'm sure there's some sanitization violation about renting public bikes while nude. Like, a lot of the nude bicyclists that join the parade are local and they ride their own bikes. I really don't think you should be riding nude on a Lime bike. Broken Halo, it's called Doche Donuts. It is in Fremont. It's so good. Actually, is there? I guess this is. I'll share it again with you on Instagram. And so that was kind of like a oof, feels bad for you moment. And they were like, so the thing is, I passed them once on the street and I had to slow down because they were literally right in front of me, like to the side, and I was like trying to not hit them. And I wonder if they felt like I was slowing down because I want to look at them. I'm like, no, I'm trying to pass you. And so I thought that was my only encounter. The thing is, when I was on my way home, I encountered them again. And they were actually parking their Lime bikes on the street, whether to go home or about to go get some food. And I was like, I don't think you can go into a restaurant. Like, are you out of towners or are you I'm sure those new bicyclists, I don't know. I was like very confused. I was very embarrassed for them. But the guy looks nonplussed, so maybe he's fine. All right, so I definitely want to put this one because I feel like it's very Star Wars, very iconic of the Disney experience, and I really love this photo where I had the Travelers up against Star Wars Land, one of my favorite places this whole trip. So I'm going to cut these two out first. So yeah, my first day of vacation. Oh, by the way, I love this song. You got me. On my California trip, June 7 marked the official first day of vacation because I took Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off to enjoy some time with friends. And I'm gonna, I think this will try to find what other photos iconic that I really wanted to preserve. And so I originally was gonna head down to Jasmine's place earlier, but then I realized, oh, where I'm staying in California, in Los Angeles, it's actually not that far from Anaheim, and this might be my only chance ever to go to Disneyland because Elliot is very not interested in Disneyland. He doesn't hate Disney, he just is like not interested in it. So I figure if I don't go on this trip, I will never have the opportunity to go again. And plus, I've always enjoyed the idea of doing things like this solo. Like, I feel like I'm a very weird traveler in which if I'm traveling with other people, I tend to put other people's needs ahead of mine. And then that sabotages my personal experience a little bit. Because I'm a people pleaser, and so I was like, ooh, if I go to Disney by myself, I can do anything I want, at my own pace, my own prerogative, my own decision, and I can make stupid decisions, and I don't have to worry about people thinking that I'm stupid. For example, my awesome route choice when I was walking around Disneyland was not something I'm particularly proud of on my legs, but I had a blast at Disney. I knew I was gonna have fun, but I feel like I really made the best of it. I am the kind of nervous planner that like researches everything and make a plan for my plan. So I was like, I wanted to do this, which I researched and printed out in my TN notes from researching. And then also like I watched like videos on how people do this and blah blah blah. Elliot's like, oh my god, you're such a planner. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a planner. Oh, by the way, I could put this, I got this from Getty. I could put this on my other thing. I'll save this for later. And I know I planned it. It was perfect because it was like on the weekday, and so that just ended up being perfect because I could obviously go on one of the low traffic days, or so it seemed. But oh my god, it was so pretty packed for me. I want to cut this out neatly. And so instead of going down to Jasmine's place early, I opted to go to Disneyland while I was still in Los Angeles. And it was a really novel experience to go alone. And like, I was very excited about the aspect that I can like stop wherever I want or go to as many places as I want. And then one of my to-do list that was like my must-do in Disney is to sketch, to sit down and sketch or paint. And I knew that if I was traveling with someone else, I would be like a little too self-conscious, or like, feel like, oh, they don't want, I want them to wait for me. And so it worked out so well because I was able to do so much sketching, like when I was resting my poor legs. I really like this part of the park, so I'm saving just this section. Except this is not. So to give you guys an idea of how I had experienced Disney, let me use this more pristine guide here. So this is Disneyland, and I kind of was pretty in awe at how they integrated everything onto the app. The app called Genie, and thank God I brought like extra battery. And like everyone's just constantly on their phone, checking the Genie app, planning out their route, making mobile orders. So am I. And it was weird. It was kind of surreal. Like you're in like this physical amusement park, but you're also at the same time kind of forced to be glued to your phone. It was very weird. So Disneyland looks like this. For those who has been before, I've never been. I don't know if this is spoilers, but this is on the internet. So I came this way. So this way is the one that goes to like the downtown Disney, which I didn't go to at all because I wasn't interested in stores that like I know about. I really just want to experience Disneyland, and I think below is the Disney Adventure Park, the California Adventure Park, which has more of the Marvel stuff, but I wasn't as interested in that. I wanted the Disney princess cartoon adventure. You have to worry over strollers, kids, waiting on others to get off the ride. Exactly. And so I came in this way, and I was gonna just go casually, but then as I start getting into research, I learned of the term rope drop. And then even Jasmine told me you should rope drop Rise of the Resistance, which is right over here, which is this famous ride for Star Wars in Star Wars Land, which was dubbed like the best ride, I think, of the whole Disneyland. And I ended up having to rope drop. I ended up having to be at the park first thing in the morning because of where I was living. And in order to avoid traffic, I just have to leave very early from Long Beach with an Uber. So I arrived super early at 6:30. The park opens at 8. I arrived at 6:30, waited at this gate before security till 7:15. I sat on like the ground waiting, scrolling on my phone. They let us through here, the security, 7:15, and I waited at this gate. And then they let us through at 7:30 through the gate. I was first in this gate. And then to rope drop this most popular ride, because apparently if you don't go super early in the morning or if you don't book it by paying, you will literally have to wait up to an hour and a half, which is something I hate doing. I hate queuing. I really don't like to wait in line for more than 10 minutes, even though that's like the nature of our Taiwanese population. But so as soon as we let through the gate, it's like a zombie horde. Everyone's like fast pacing, going through this main street. So this main street is all open before 8 if they let you through the gate. It's these entrances to the lands that has like a rope that like kind of keeps you out of it. And that's why they call it rope drop. The moment they drop the ropes, you can start going into those places. So it was wild. Like, first of all, through the gate, you can kind of see everyone just excited, ready to go. And I had to speed walk my way down this main road. I think, sorry, that pen isn't a good. Speed walk myself down this road to the main area. And the trick is to park yourself right in front of Frontierland, because that's the fastest way to get into the queuing entrance for Star Wars Galaxy Edge, Rise of the Resistance. So I was at the front of the rope. I was able to get there. And then this little character came out to greet people that are waiting at the rope. At first, I was not recognizing this character. I was like, which Disney character is this? Turns out it was Damn, I forgot his name. From Coco, the little boy from Coco. Alfonso? Something like that. I think it's like that synthetic, big, like, costume. Like, I'm terrified of large costumes. So, I wasn't inclined to meet any of the special characters. So Fantasyland has all the princesses. Tomorrowland has like the Space Mountain. Miguel, thank you. Tomorrowland has Space Mountain. Adventureland has like the Pirates of the Caribbean, which I did not even go into. New Orleans Square is more of like the food area. Critter Country was completely in renovation because they're trying to change Splash Mountain, which had some like, I think, problematic depiction of the characters, into Bayou Adventures, which features the Princess Tiana one. Star Wars Land, obviously, and then Mickey's Toontown, which has all the Mickey character, which actually I did not even walk to. I also did not go to It's a Small World because I've done that before. And so, in Japan, as a kid, and I'm not interested. Hello, thank you for following Blueberry Beans. So, I was here, Frontierland, the crowd starts forming. Oh my god, right before 8 o'clock, like around 7:50, let me tell you, this entire main area is stuffed with people. It was stuffed. Like, I look back, it's mountain people, mountain sea. It's people, mountain people, sea, I think. Then Shanghai. Like, no space. You can't see the ground. It was just stuffed with people. And then the moment they let the rope drop, the cast member, or that's what they call staffs in Disney, cast members, because everyone's in character, I think that's what it meant, was like, don't run, please don't run. And then like, and there was this couple that was like holding hands, and they were like skipping, because apparently you're allowed to skip in Disneyland, but you can't run. So they were like, skip, skip, skip. It was kind of cheerful. But man, it was a mad rush. Everyone started swarming over here. And it was funny because before I went, I asked Connor and like Jasmine, like, where do you go to the Star Wars ride? This ride over here in this edge, the far edge of the park. And they're like, you will know, just follow the people. And I did. I follow the people. You can't run, so you're speed walking. I sped walk. It was horrible. My lungs hurt. I was like, my feet felt like it was about to pull a muscle. Around this point, it was funny. The crowd collectively slowed down because everyone's out of stamina. Everyone's out of breath. So you can see people just kind of slowing down over here. And then once you get here, there's like all these cast members trying to usher you into the queue. And so we all like kind of got into the queue. And luckily, I never had to stop. I just walk right into the queue, and then walk right onto the ride. It was very fortunate. It was the best decision. I got to road drop that, and then like got onto this ride, which typically would have taken like an hour and a half to just stand and wait in line. Ugh. Would never do that. And that's actually what happened to me after 3 o'clock. All the rides, or actually after 2 o'clock, all the rides are at least 30 minutes long. It was filled with people. I think it's because schools was out. Even mid of the weekday didn't make a difference. And I was just like, there's a line, skip. There's a line, skip. There's a line, skip. So towards the afternoon, I was really just kind of enjoying my time, resting and like eating and like looking at things. So I did that first. And so this is where my idiocy route planning goes into plan. The every guide tells you, don't go rope drop this. Go do all the rides in Fantasyland first, because they're short, they're easy to go through. You can hit so many rides in here. And so I thought, okay, once I'm done here, let's go hit those rides. And I picked the longest wait time ride, which was a mistake. So I didn't do as much as I wanted in Fantasyland, but I still hit a few. And then after that, I was like, let's book that ride back in Star Wars Land. Creative Space, I'll share one my favorite thing in a bit. But let's go on this, use the Genie Plus app to book this roller coaster. So I got here rode the thing, went back to Star Wars Land, finished everything in Star Wars Land, and then actually before my ride, I finally ate breakfast at around 9 o'clock over here in Star Wars Land. Rontolla's wrap, so good. It's like this vegan sausage with like this kimchi gochujang flavored slaw on like a pita bread. It is so good. So I had breakfast here, rode the Smuggler's Run, super fun. I use only Lightning Lane. I cannot queue. And then after that, I decided to go back to Fantasyland, and it was just packed. It was so busy. Started getting busy around 10, around 11. And then I made my way back to Tomorrowland to check this place out. Holy moly. I think this is kind of like the oldest part of the park. So many people, and everyone's starting to get a little sweaty. It's kind of towards the middle of the day, and I was just overwhelmed with the people and the queue. So I kind of walked aimlessly around here, did some shopping, looked for some coins, presser, and then came here to buy a corn dog. It turns out that has a long queue too, so I did a mobile order and shopped around these shops a little bit. Ate my corn dog at the main center. Decided to venture back into Fantasyland to take some photos. And then I had reserved some rides, so I went back to Tomorrowland to do my 2 rides back to back. Some good planning there. And then by this time I was beat. It was like 1:30, and I was there since 6:30 in the morning. So by 1:30 I was beat. I'm like, I'm gonna go rest. My friends told me there's like this delicious drink at the Star Wars park corner that I must try that I missed in the morning. So I was like, my feet was hurting by at that point. Although in the morning my Uber driver was like, take an Advil or an ibuprofen with your first meal of the day. You will thank me for it. And I did, and it was such a great suggestion. I was like, holy moly, if I hadn't taken that ibuprofen, I would have died like by then. So did Space Mountain, got a super embarrassing, horrible photo from the ride that I will never release into the internet. Some people saw it. It was disgusting. And so so from Tomorrowland, I walk back to Frontierland to kind of go over this way. But then I was like, oh, this ride is available, this Rivers of America. So I jumped onto the ride. Turns out there was no chair. So this boat, really cool boat though, goes around this river and then comes back. I saw Princess Tiana over here. And by the way, I bumped into Wendy over here, not knowing she's Wendy. And I was totally in the way between the queue of girls and Wendy. And so Rivers of America, finally got off. Okay, let's go back to Star Wars Land. And this is where I finally sat down for some dessert. Corn dog was my lunch, by the way. Had some dessert, some mousse dessert at the Cargo 7 place. So good. That Star Wars Land is my favorite land. It's so clean. It's not as messy. It's not as crowded. I wonder if it's because like people generally can relate to these storylines a little bit more, and unless you're really into Star Wars, some kids don't like here. So, and I got this prime seat. Both my breakfast and my dessert time, I enjoyed a really nice seat right here that has this perfect alfresco view of the Millennium Falcon. And so I had my dessert inside the air conditioning room, came back out with my drink, which is this delicious cold brew. Do I have photos? That has like a cream cheese topping and Cocoa Puffs on top. So I had this delicious cold brew, but I was journaling inside the restaurant. It was very nice to journal, sit and journal in Disneyland. I can say I've done that. And so I did that, and then I came out and I decided to sketch while I was out here. So I had that really nice table. The seats were clean. The table was clean. Enjoyed a really nice time sketching out what I wanted to draw and include in my accordion refill, which I'll show again. This is my Disneyland refill. So from the morning, the rope drop, the rides, and then this is the Mark Twain thing. The roller coaster rides on hat. So I was able to make a lot of progress in this accordion refill. Things are just falling off my table. So by the time I finished resting my feet, it was like already 4, and I was like thinking, okay, let's go check out this part of town. Oh, it was swamped. It was so many people, strollers, people queuing, kids, adults, disability bikes, whatever. It was just very, very crowded, and I really wanted to eat the Mickey shaped beignet, which is at the New Orleans Square, and I couldn't even enter because the crowd was blocking the entrance. So I made my way throughout half of Adventureland, realized I was not in New Orleans and I had to walk back. And then even like ordering that was a long queue. So I did a mobile order and then walked around the shop. It was actually very small, this area. It's pretty for sure. It reminded me of the French Quartet in New Orleans because I've been. But I could do without the crowds. So I finally got my Mickey beignet, went back out to this patio place, enjoyed the view of the water while I ate it there, and then thought I would go check out what's in Adventureland. But none of the rides are free enough for me to ride. I was like, I'm not queuing for anything more than 5 minutes. Even like the Dole Whip, the pineapple whip thing, they weren't accepting mobile orders, so you have to queue, and the queue was so long. I don't understand. Every food stall, every little churro stall is lined, so many people queuing. So I'm like, I just don't have the patience, and I didn't want to queue for the Pirates of Caribbean, so I made myself back to Main Street, and then by then it was around 6:30, and I was like, I'm beating the crowd because I don't want to like be on that Uber rush home when everyone's going home. So I came at 6:30. I left Disneyland at 6:30. Went over there, grabbed my Uber, and then took a Uber ride to my favorite taqueria place in Long Beach for dinner. Turns out I should have, if there's one thing I would do again is that I wouldn't do that taco dinner even though it was delicious. I would have tried to sit down at New Orleans Squares and then have a Monte Cristo sandwich. That's the one thing that I realized I could have had as like another food. But every food in Disneyland is kind of pricey. So I was like, I didn't make that bad of a mistake. So you can see I was literally just like doing a lot of back, forth, boo, 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 boo. I walked 18,000 steps that day. Whew. Oh my goodness. Elliot called me. I needed to send him a... Is the stream still going? Is it still working? Okay, cool. So this was my really packed Star Wars day. Really packed Disney day. I didn't do that much buying. There was a lot of hats, obviously. I didn't find that many that I liked, and at the end of the day, I was like, I should have bought at least one, but I didn't because I didn't think I would go back. I wanted to ride the submarine thing, but it was just around noon. The artificial water thing was just smelling so weird for me. Like it kind of has that like public swimming pool smell. So I was like, I don't feel comfortable going into the submarines. So I didn't go. And I think what I bought at Disneyland was literally a Been There series Starbucks mug. You know how Starbucks has like all the location mugs, like I've been to Houston, I've been to Seattle, I've been to Japan. They had one for 2 locations in Star Wars, Jakku and Coruscant. So I thought that was super funny. So I bought one here for Elliot and I. And I think that's it. And then I played some pressed quarters coins. They're somewhere in there. So I was gonna incorporate them into my book. And then yeah, even the Main Street, there's a lot of fun stuff, but like Disneyland in the US doesn't really do really good ephemera. Like they don't sell postcards, or they have, but they're like really shitty postcards. Not many tape, stickers, and then it was just like I didn't want to buy anything. And so I like watched a little show here to waste time before I had to go get my Uber ride. Ooh, what is this song? This is Love Me or Leave Me by Day 6. I really like this song. So yeah, a full day of Disney. I'm gonna incorporate this map into my TN. There is an artist shop I went into, but they were kind of pricey. The postcards were like $4 to $6 a piece. It's right here, right at the very end. Yeah, it's like artist renditions of Disney, and I wasn't feeling like I need them enough to shell out $4 to $6. Like, hey, I feel like I obviously, yeah, you're honoring the artist, but I doubt you pay them that big of a cut. It was Disney pricing, and I wasn't there for it. Okay, so this is definitely way bigger. Like I was at Jasmine's place later, and she had so many cute like tapes and sticker rolls, and of Disney, but they were all bought at Disney Tokyo. And I was asking her, does the Disney US has like the cute gashapon of the like the little rides? Because when you do these like Disney rides, they have those little cute train carts, right? That you can like you sit on. And in Japan, they made them into miniature gashapons. So for like the Pinocchio ride or the Snow White rides, they have like the shapes of the rides, and I was like, that's like the cutest thing ever. I want them, but then obviously the US doesn't have them. I feel like that's like a big money making opportunity, honestly. Randomized gifts that forces you to pay for each time. Like, why wouldn't they do it? Postcards at museums. I don't think I've ever seen postcard museums for more than like $5. But the Disney ones were like, they're like meh. There's like more impressive fan art that I've seen before of Disney. Alright, I'm gonna put the park map at the very end. Should I open this? I might have to train it to fold in a different way. Yeah, this way is much better. Cool. So that was my only disappointment with US Disney, is that they don't give you enough cute ephemera, except for this guide map, which I totally missed out because I was trying to go into the park early enough, and I found them later, like near the entrance, and I grabbed them. Because everyone was using your phone. I was using my phone to navigate myself around the park. It was so easy. The app was like super convenient. It really like allows you to see like wait time, tells you what the ride is, stuff like that. And I do like the convenience of that, but I just think it like misses a little bit on the analog magicness. Here we go. Ah, friends, I wanted to put this on the last page. Why am I on the first page? What? I wanted to put it on this page. Oh, wow. I guess it's on the front page now. Alright. That's good. That's okay. That's okay. April, it's okay. I could put my road drop stories on the front side. I'll do this later. Oh my god. I was not thinking. Alright, so back to the Hobonichi, which is the most important part for the arrangement. What if today I only get to Disney? Another stream tomorrow. Alright, any more cute things I can like salvage from this guide? Alright, maybe I'll cut out the Galaxy Edge part. I've shared before that I treat my Hobonichi kind of like a traveler's notebook, right? It's where I keep and collage my best ephemeras. So I like to collage and layer just as much on my Hobonichi. You're not gonna put the park mag in the tea. I did. Okay, Halo, I just did this one. Oh, not in that accordion. That one's kind of like the doodle accordion, but it's in this one now. This one's gonna have like the account of the stories, and the other one's more of like the illustrated refill. This art is too real for that illustrated. The art is not my vibe. Okay, after I cut down this and like check for more ephemera, I need to go feed Cookie and take him out, so you guys will have to excuse me. And I have to call Elliot. My only worry about that accordion refill is that I love all the illustrations I did, and I'm worried that my handwriting is not gonna be like up to the standard. It's gonna look so, my handwriting's gonna look so crooked and bad in that refill. Like, come on, April's handwriting. Actually, I should probably try this. How about this? There. That's a good. Tasha scribble. Cookie Din Din. That's right. Alright, I'm putting this down first. glue stick. Ah, stay up there. And this is like the most iconic photo of my trip. Disney hat and my TN against the Star Wars land. Alright, this is a good page to kind of pause on. So yeah, I'm gonna take Cookie on a little food potty break. Might be 5 to 10 minutes. You guys go ahead and enjoy this break, or free to head out. See you in a bit. Hello, I'm back. That wasn't too long, wasn't it? Had to feed him dinner, wash his food bowls, and then take him out. My God. Stairs. Stairs. Disney. Whew. All right. So now that the TN part, sorry, the Hobonichi part is over, I'm like trying to see if there's anything else I want to incorporate in the spread from my photos. Nope, everything's reserved for the TN next. I did think about if I wanted to add some photos to this refill. Really grim, I know. I'm like, oh my God. Like, will it look good though? Can I have photos in between? Will it be too much? Let's trim first and then we'll see. Because I like kind of, for exercise sake, I like to jog back up the stairs. It's like, if I'm not out all day, this is like my last form of exercise. I bought Cookie a really cute eggplant shaped toy this morning for being such a good boy at the groomers. He really seems to be improving, which I'm really glad about. I was worried. I was like having some anxiety because when I left him at the groomers, I stepped out the door. I can hear him do the yelp, his high pitched yelp. But it wasn't like, it was like the, I'm like, it isn't his painful yelp. That's his, I knew that yelp. That was like the yelp where he like, he wants to be with someone yelp. So I was worried that the groomer is gonna be mad at us again, because she had told us many times that it's not really great for everyone else for Cookie to just always be yelling. And that my solution was to just book their first appointment, the ones where they had been offering for people to just get in as the first customer, and then like he gets the sole attention, and I found that actually gets the job done faster too, because sometimes the groomers put the dogs in like the kennels while they work on something else, to also give the dog some time to calm down. But Cookie's not the kind that could calm down in a kennel. But the groomer said that yeah, he's been doing much better. He was very tolerable of many actions they do on him. The only part was that we have constantly needed to work on was just his paws. He hates having his front paws touched. And I think it might have been from like a bad experience with nail trimming when he was younger at the other groomer's place. But we've been working on his desensitization for so long, and that's like the last part. The last part, which was his little poor paws. So we're really gonna ramp up the treating and the co-cooperation training, to get him to simulate a lot of the grooming behaviors. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing a good job, and especially with me traveling so long. Like I've been traveling every month, and Elliot doesn't do that good of a job keeping him on track, because he also has to go into work And so hopefully this month and the next will make a difference for Cookie before his next grooming appointment in mid-August. I feel like I'm playing card or something. I'm like sorting out my cards. Worst case, I have a contact to a behaviorist that can sign up for specifically grooming training. So I was wanting to see if I needed to do that now that I'm like more within the same area for more than a month. Yeah, consistency is the most important thing for sure. Like throughout the day, we have treat bags planted. Oh, here's a duplicate, so that means one of them needs to be. Maybe that one could go into the accordion refill. But I've already gotten to a good point with him about grooming, like brushing other parts of him, so I was already very happy about that. Used to hate having his legs touched or brushed. So okay, I've decided I am gonna put some photos. Like I could even use the comb on him, even though he hates the comb as a kid. So that was really, really good. All right, maybe this one here. Like literally the last time when we had a larger gap between grooming, I was able to groom him for 2 weeks. Well, not groom him, to brush him for 2 weeks. And each time I come away with like a large clump of like hair, I feel so happy. Like success. I was able to get these loose hair out, which means it's less of a problem for the groomer. Oh, this guy, this one. 10 minutes, 2 times a day for a few weeks. Oh yeah, absolutely. For the grooming one, I don't even do up to 10 minutes. Just like, I'm starting at like 3 minutes. Cookie is such a baby about so many things. What do I put here? Maybe the main street. There, some photos throughout, realistic photos, and then some more journaling parts. Maybe I'll add a little bit more comic to some parts. Okay, and now we can start working on the TN. I was also thinking I could like put some photos over here. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it like this. Isn't that cute? Or maybe my own face. April at Disneyland. Any tips for finding screenshots of K-drama? I don't know. I actually am one of those people who tried to take screenshot for Netflix and failed. Because sometimes you just come across such beautiful scenes. You're like, how did they do it? But I think what had helped me was, because I don't know where that resource is available, but I joined a few like Taiwanese forums that talks about K-drama, and usually they find like the official site of the show, and the show releases scenes or memorable like images of each episode on the official sites that people can use to refer to the show or that episode. And so that's where you get the really high quality, really pretty, really like nice photos. But I don't know any other way other than going through that form. Yeah, the stills. Okay, so I wanted to document the road drop over here. So this is a photo where everyone's rushing towards the towards the ride. Should I use this one as a more representative photo? Yeah, let's do this. This is cute. How many pages did I reserve for Disneyland? 4? 4 only? Whoops. Might have to be Tippins. Alright, let's do this. Oh, sorry. I was jiggling my feet. Ow, 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 ow. My feet just cracked. Rope drop, 6:30 a.m. And then my first ride was Rise of the Resistance. I've decided I'm gonna put this one into my Hobonichi because I really like this lightning lane post. And then of course I gotta document this cool but also kind of intimidating ride. It's like the ride was great. It was really just like a bumpy experience throughout this like the world they built, but there is this like fall, like this drop that really like just turns your tummy upside down. Oh my god, what's in my for that one I didn't like. And then more of the land. I know, what doesn't like fit in the TN, we'll just keep going into the accordion refill. That's just what I'm going to do. And I love this. They like rewrote Coca-Cola in like the Batu, or like the language of like the Star Wars. So you can kind of still tell it's Coca-Cola, but it's like not spelled with English. And actually the little soda bottles that they were selling were also in like these round like BB-8 spheres. So it was really cute. Oh my god, do I have like a splinter in my toe? What the heck? Dude. Holy shit. I just picked out a splinter from my toe. Where did I even get it from? Holy moly. That was painful. All my photos were of Star Wars land. That's hilarious. I guess that's like just the most photogenic area. I'm gonna put it over here. Actually, no, I'm gonna put this on the accordion refill. It's really nice. So maybe this, or no, my photo here. Right here. I was like, something was stinging my toe. It must have been when I went out to take Cookie out, because it's our backyard and I'm always just so lazy to change into shoes, so I just wear my flip-flops. Alright, and then breakfast and some sketching. I'm going to just combine these two, or maybe I should do this at the very end. This is the journaling and sketching time. Journaling and sketching at Disney. Check, check. Whoa. And then the foods. Where did I put my Mickey? I think this is like the foods of Disneyland. How did I? Let's do this. Yeah, why didn't I have other photos? That's so funny. Okay, let's see. Okay, alright. I can breathe now. Alright, I should have more photos. Maybe I can combine this is the, I didn't take any photos at Tomorrowland because it was too icky. It was just too crowded and too sweaty. I'm gonna move this photo to over here. This is another way to fill the space since I didn't do anything over here anyway. The Matterhorn was one ride I wanted to ride, but it kept being out of order, and then by the time it came back, I have no confidence. I'm like, I'm not gonna ride a ride that has been out of order for so many times. Right. I'm sorry. Maybe this. Let's put it here. But it's part of the food. It like actually broke down twice. Like the first time I've had it on my Genie like kind of queue, but then it was like, oh, it's out of order. It will be available by 12. I went back and then okay, it's starting to come back online. And then around 3, it went offline again. I was like, okay, definitely not writing that. Imagine being stuck. I would not like that. Let's put it here. And I wanted to put this one also in the accordion. Maybe over here in this corner. Well, I fit all my Disney photos in. Already anxious enough. Exactly. Exactly. I was like, nope, I don't need that. I don't need that. Alright, let's actually stick this over here at this corner of Star Wars Galaxy because it's just a small one. You know what? I'm going to trim out this guy's head because it doesn't really add to the photo. I think this was actually part of the rope drop experience, so maybe I could fit it in here. Yeah, right here. 30 grams. Yeah, it makes the brochure yours. I do that a lot. There we go. And then this guy I'll add to the Hobonichi. Because this thing is so cool. No, this page is filled. I might have to do like a flip out. This is the definition of filled. What do you guys think? That little corner? Do you know Disney holds safety very high? Yeah, I passed by it and I was like watching the technicians. There was like 8 of them. No, maybe not that many. 6. Looking over. You know, I think I will draw this instead and then put that in the thing. In one of the books. Because I think this is really cool. Because the theme of my trip, like the lightning lane, really helped a lot. And I really like this lightning lane post. I think this is the smuggler. The Millennium Falcon smuggler. 21 pages filled. My eyes are tired. Good luck. But good job with the progress. Oh my god, why is my nose suddenly so itchy? Sorry, I might have to blow my nose. Oh my god, what's going on? I don't have allergies. Today is kind of soggy though. Soggy. Wet, not soggy. Kind of like in like a very drizzly, cold way, so maybe. I like, this is where you scan your like lightning lane pass, and then you get to like kind of skip the line a little bit. And so I really loved it, but I was in a hurry to get into the right, so I came back out and I went back to the front again. I was telling the guy, can I just take a photo of this? And he was like joking with me, so he like leaned against it and like as if he wants to also be as part of the photo. And he's like dressed in like the Star Wars outfit too, so it was really fun. But I didn't want that photo. I want the thing on its own. I don't want you. The one just now, they're all Monster X. What I'm listening to is their English album, All About Love, which is really good. Their pronunciation is really nice. Dare I say, their album is better than BTS. Just kidding. Just kidding. Alright, I'm putting this here. This photo is going to be folded slightly. No, I don't want it to be folded. I'll just do it here. Poker catch. Poker cage. Alright, so that was all the photos from Disney. Wow, it is one stream. Okay, let's see. Let's check. Final check for ephemera. Did I miss any ephemera that I could use? I kind of want to download this genie. Cut out this genie part. Can I save? Is one of these pages salvageable? Not this one. Oh my god, I cut out this one because I wanted to put this into the Hobonichi. No, my Hobonichi. I wanted to save this portion of the map. And then this is the one with the little genie thing I wanted to cut out, but I think I accidentally made a cut already here. Oh well, I'll just save this as reference for when I journal. Alright. Do a little tip in technique. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tip this in here so that it could fold in on itself like this. Something like this. Put it more to the edge than use washi. I'm taping it down. I already put the glue on. Alright. So now it's gonna fold like this, which is better because I could see the map immediately. Nice. Like it. Oh my god. Right, and then ephemera check inside this pouch of miscellaneous items. So see, these are cool little stickers that what do you call it? These stickers that Jasmine got from Tokyo Disney Resort, Disney Sea, Disneyland, and it's got like the name of the actual rides. So I used the ones that I've been on. I think they're on here. Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and Dumbo the Flying Elephant. But that's it. All these are extras. That time thingy on the left annoys you so much. Yeah, I ignore it. So I got some stickers, coffee, stickers. Grab house. Oh my god, saving that. Moto. Cute. I guess nothing Starbucksy. Sorry, nothing Star Warsy in here. Just double checking. Did they give them out? I think it's a roll of tape. I got a sample. This one doesn't have any cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna toss that. This crab house though. Does it still smells like the crab house? Ooh, I could tape that straight down there. Mr. Drinking water. So I have those pressed coins, and I'm still debating or trying to think about where I want to put those. The annoying thing is they kind of have like a curve, so it wouldn't stay flat in the Hobonichi. But I was kind of like, I'm tempted to put it in anyway. It's not that curvy. There. Perfect. Can you roll them on top of a cloth the other direction. Yeah, I have to use a lot of force though, because it is a, whatchamacallit, it's like a penny or a quarter. Yay! Alright, perfect timing, 2 hours. I think I'm gonna end it here and continue this later tonight. But really happy to fill in the Disney part. Oh my god, just the Disney itself one day is like 3 books. But yeah, I am gonna tap out for tonight. Gonna go get some food, some dinner, and I hope you guys also have a good evening. Not gonna raid. Sorry, I've been so lazy about raiding, but I really wanted to just run. So, have a good time. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. Bye.